You ready to start those mouths watering? Well, this is the episode for you if you want to learn how to cook duck, gumbo, or learn from the master himself, Mr. Kent Rollins, on how to cook quail and many other things.
I'm KJ. You found the right place. We go all over this little blue orb, sharing stories and tactics about chasing wild game. Now, let's get on the hunt.
Welcome in, all you gun talk hunters. I'm your host, KJ, and today we've got a good one, a star-studded lineup. We're down here in South Louisiana, and we go all the way up to Oklahoma. But this episode is brought to you by Remington Ammo, Ruger, and Range Ready Studios. For my first guest, we're going all the way across the hall to my boss and the CEO of Gun Talk Media and host of Gun Talk Nation, Ryan Gresham. Welcome in, dude.
Thank you for having me on your show, sir.
I know it's like it's one of those things like where when you like get in a pinch and you're like, oh, but today's topic, we're going over like recipes, and you are notorious around the office and locally for like having some phenomenal duck recipes, and that's why I was like, man, like why go anywhere else when you got like the master of duck right across the hallway?
I'm definitely not going to make that claim, but yeah, I mean, I like to hunt, I like to fish, but I like to harvest the meat and cook the meat and eat the meat.
Yeah.
Usually with wine. And it's like, why wouldn't you do that? And it's funny because, and I can say this because she says it, my wife says I'm a better cook than her. And I mean, that's part of the enjoyment. I mean, wouldn't you say that growing up hunting and going to hunting camps, some of the best meals that you had were at hunting camps?
Yeah, because usually I'm starving by the end of the day, and it like a lot of times it doesn't matter what you eat, but when you know like you're harvesting and you're cooking what you're harvesting, like that adds a little different, like there's a little bit more flavor in it. Like when it's like you're doing it.
Well, you want to maximize because you went to a lot of effort, and time and expense and all those things to get this damn duck.
Yeah.
So you want to maximize like the enjoyment of it, right? If you're cooking for your buddies at hunting camp, there's a little bit of like, I better show up and do a good job here.
Well, so there was a couple of years ago, and it was like me and my buddy in camp, and like I had brought back like blacktail from Alaska, and I don't know what I did different, but like those were the best like medallion like skewers of loin that I have ever had. Like, and he was like, he still talks about to this day. And I'm like, man, if I could harness that every meal, that'd be awesome.
It's the only problem with winging it is because they're like, that was great. Do that again.
Yeah.
You're like,
what did I have? Like, it's like, I
it?
bought this seasoning from Little United grocery store in Hollis, Oklahoma.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, I don't remember what it was. And I can't find it anywhere else. So, you know, it is what it is. Speaking of winging it.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about duck, because duck's one of those recipes that you go, well, I shot a lot of ducks, and everybody's like, well, I'm going to make duck poppers.
Right.
Those aren't bad. That's everybody's go-to. And if you don't know, that's like you marinate it, you season it, and then it's cream cheese, jalapeno, wrap that stuff in bacon, and you're good to go.
Yep.
Like, and it's phenomenal.
It's great. It's delicious.
Crowd pleasing.
It's also, I will say, you can do the quick and dirty poor man's duck popper of marinate it, wrap it in bacon. Also really good. I will say,
but
I elevated I bought
denominator?
some maple bourbon bacon on a whim at the store. I was just looking for bacon, and I was like, maple bourbon
I
bacon?
think it sounds delicious.
Yeah. So Dale's low sodium marinade, because that stuff all has like soy sauce, super salty.
It's already good to go.
So low sodium marinade, and then wrap it with the maple bourbon bacon, grill it, sort of maybe try to do a little smokiness on it. That was delicious.
Really?
But people are funny because they'll say, ooh, duck. That's like, it's livery, it's dark. I mean, a few tricks, people will soak it in milk, but marinate it. Those things get a little bit of the blood out, a little of the gaminess out. I have a buddy who's a chef who swears by dry aging duck in the fridge for a week.
What?
So he'll I mean, I guess there's different ways to do it, and you can do this with a whole duck, or even if you breast out the duck.
Yeah.
if you can leave the fat on, the skin on, that's a great
Okay.
thing. Rinse it, dry it, put it on a plate, uncovered in the fridge for 6 or 7 days, and then he treats it like a piece of filet mignon, salt and pepper, sear it in a skillet,
Man.
medium rare, and it's delicious. And some people would be like, "Really? 7 days in the fridge? It's not going to go bad?" But I
I
mean,
mean, it's cold. Like,
yeah, it's cold. I mean, there's another guy just the other day was talking about that. It's like
really?
he doesn't even clean his ducks. He doesn't even pluck them. He I guess he cleans them, like guts them,
Right.
and then puts them in the fridge for 3 or 4 days and sort of dry ages them a little
Really?
bit, and
And
then goes out and plucks them.
man,
So the
that's like,
preparation part is a factor
Yeah.
here. So whether you breast them out or whether you
Yeah.
have whole ducks, it kind of depends. I I'll do it both ways. I love a whole duck with all the fat on
yeah.
there, but sometimes you're lazy. Sometimes you go like sometimes we
Lazy.
get to go to a guide or something
Yeah.
and that some outfitter and they'll give you the plucked whole ducks. And you're like,
Right.
sweet, I didn't
Yeah,
have to
and
do
that's
it.
that's good because
So
and I find that you're a little bit more adventurous. Like
mhm.
and you like figure out different ways to do things when it's not prepared exactly how you normally do it. Because normally we just breast them out and we just cut the breast off and then we're good to go. That's
Yeah.
why 90% of my duck is done as a popper is because like I haven't taken the time to pluck a duck or
Right.
God, that sounds funny now that I like say it in my mouth. Like pluck a duck. Oh well, pluck a duck.
And dude, that's a hot topic too. Is people will, I mean, that's common. You breast out
Yeah.
ducks. It's a quick and easy way to do
Yeah.
it. There's some hunters that get really upset about
Oh,
that
yeah.
because they say you're wasting the
You're
meat,
wasting meat.
you're not maximizing the duck. I could
I see
argue
it
it both
both
ways.
ways, yeah.
I could argue it both ways.
Yeah,
I know.
I
But I mean, like how much meat do you really get off a duck leg? I mean, maybe
mean,
if
like-
I had.
like-
Now, that being said, I'm not a waster of meat. I mean,
no.
dude, I went on a snow goose hunt a few years back.
Yeah.
We killed about probably 40 or 50 snow geese the first
Holy
day.
jeez.
And they're piled up in the guide's truck. And we're like,
What are you doing?
so
with
what are
them?
we doing with these? And he's like, oh, you want these? Like,
It's a
we're not going to
goose.
throw them in the trash.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Some
think
people
he
do.
literally was like, oh, we don't really like snow geese, which is
Why
also
not?
a funny thing. There certainly are better and worse table fare for
Right.
ducks and different waterfowl or whatever. But like, I mean, we're down here in South Louisiana. I can make a gumbo out of anything,
That is true.
and it'll be good. I promise. I mean, I took a big old Canadian goose, and
yeah.
just one goose was enough to make a goose and sausage gumbo. It was delicious.
Really?
But they're like, oh,
So-
I wouldn't want to eat that big old thing.
Why not?
Yeah, why
like,
not?
why waste? I feel like there's fines for that.
Yeah,
Like there's fines for wanting waste.
Yeah.
Like
it's frowned upon.
that it just baffles me on some people's levels of what they'll tolerate and like, well then why are you hunting it?
yeah,
Like, is it the thrill of the chase that gets you? But because like the thrill of my chase doesn't end at the break of a shot. Like it goes far beyond that because you're bringing it into the kitchen. You're sharing it with friends. So talk a little bit about gumbo because I like your gumbo is phenomenal. I've had it multiple times. What are you doing different than most
I
people?
don't know. It's really not. I guess you do it enough, and it's really not that complicated. The one thing I do that maybe is somewhat different, I make my own roux.
Right.
Which some people they do the quick and easy, roux in a jar. Which down here, maybe they sell it other places, but in Louisiana they sell roux in a jar.
They don't sell that in Oklahoma. I
Okay.
can tell you that.
But I mean, it's really
Right.
not that hard. People overcomplicate it.
Yeah.
It's equal parts flour and oil, and
Okay.
regular flour, canola oil. You can do it with various types of
Okay.
oils. I've tried it different ways, but probably canola oil, vegetable oil is the
Mhm.
best thing. The way I do it, you get the pan or the pot pretty hot, like
Yeah.
medium high heat. Get it going, put the oil in, get the oil hot, put the flour in, and whisk the flour.
Okay.
Maybe turn the heat down to maybe medium because the cardinal sin is you cannot burn the
Don't
roux.
burn the roux.
Yeah,
Like I've
Even
heard
if-
that over and over.
and for like a lot of people like a darker roux.
Mhm.
Certainly on like a duck and sausage gumbo, I think a dark roux works
Yeah.
nice. But you do you're walking on a razor's edge when you gotta get to where like, okay, it's a tan roux, and
Right.
you're whisking basically the whole time.
Really?
This isn't my thing. I've heard it somewhere, but like the time it takes to drink a beer or 2 beers. And
Oh, really?
I don't think it's actually possible to make a roux without having a beer in your hand. I
Is
don't
there
think
not? What beer pairs well with roux?
Oktoberfest,
Okay, yeah.
malty, sort of dark, or an
Yeah.
amber, something like
Yeah,
that. It's
a good
usually
fall
fall.
beer.
It's a fall beer,
Okay.
right? So you're, then you go, okay, it's tan. That's a light roux. That's like an étouffée roux.
Right.
And you keep going, and now it looks like milk chocolate. Like that's acceptable, but I ain't
So now
I ain't no
you're
sucker. I'm gonna
yeah.
push the edge here.
So you're on a half of your second beer now.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
like that's where
Yeah.
you're at.
Don't go anywhere. If the
Yeah.
doorbell rings, you're not answering the doorbell. Okay, you get a text message, you're not
You're not
answering the
answering- you're not
text.
doing this and like
Don't do it.
halfway stirring it.
My kids will not let me live down the one time that I picked up my phone for something during making a roux
No.
and got distracted, and then went back and it was sticking to the pot and it was burned, and I had to start over. Like, okay, throw it out, wash the pan, get more oil and flour, start over.
Start over. You're done.
Yeah, you're done.
Gee.
So yeah, that's the thing. Then you do your thing.
Yeah.
A gumbo, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's a free country.
Really?
But you can put tomatoes in it, or you don't put tomatoes in it. I don't care.
What do you do?
Either one is fine.
No,
Either one is
what
fine.
do you do? If
I
you're making it,
I do it both ways.
Oh, really?
Because
Man.
some of the Cajuns will be like, your mama puts tomatoes in a gumbo, like making fun. But I've had it with tomatoes in the gumbo. Now, it shouldn't be tomatoey. That's
Right.
not right.
Okay.
But if you want to put one tomato in, I don't know why, but they do. It should have okra.
Yes,
because
it should.
Gumbo is African for okra.
Really?
Yes, it
I
comes
didn't know
from
that.
Africa.
Well, then it has to have.
It's
then,
supposed to
okay.
have okra in it.
All
And
right.
people are like, I don't like okra. Then don't put it. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm just
but
saying it's
that's
supposed to have
the
okra
word.
in it. Yeah. Okra is a thickener, and then you put filet in it, which filet is a thickener,
Okay.
sassafras root.
Right.
But good ingredients. That's the
Yeah.
other part with good gumbo. Buy good ingredients,
Mhm.
especially like the
Like
sausage.
fresh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good stuff.
God, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, like every time I have it, I'm like, I need to make this. Like,
The other thing I'll
oh.
tell you on duck stuff, duck is really suited for Asian. So duck
Oh.
a la orange,
Yeah.
delicious. You're cooking it in sauce. It kind of helps it from drying out too.
What wines pair well with duck? Because I know that's like
If you're
that's
going
kinda your
Asian and
world.
spicy,
Yeah.
I would go like a lighter red, like a Pinot or something like that.
Mhm.
Actually, I've heard that for gumbo, a Malbec or a Zinfandel red
Yeah.
works really well. But again, to each his own.
Yeah.
Whatever. But not white. You can
Just
do whatever
that-
you
it
want, but
doesn't-
don't do
not
a
white.
Chardonnay.
Don't do a Chardonnay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Ryan, thanks for joining us, man. Now, hey, we're about to take a break right here. And when you come back, we're talking to the one and only cast iron cowboy, Mr. Kent Rollins. Looking to level up your hunt and tighten up those groups? Well, look no further than Remington Ammo. Yeah, the stuff in the green box is super accurate, and they've got everything from hunting ammo all the way to NRL like match ammo. So check those out. Remington Premier, from Premier Tip AccuTip to match grade ammunition, all in that green box you love, you trust, and you adore. Find it all at remington.com. Looking for a rifle that's short, sharp, and way more precise than you on your best day? Meet the Ruger American Gen 2 Scout, the Gun Talk Edition. This thing's compact powerhouse, dressed in Cryptek Obscura Nox camo with a smoked bronze Cerakote finish like Tactical Fashion Week, but with more recoil. Chambered in 5.56 NATO or 308, it's got a threaded barrel, installed high comb, and the kind of accuracy that forgives your bad decisions. At least the ballistic ones. You can find it at guntalkscout.com. Tired of your range time being just mag dumps and Instagram flexing? Enter Range Ready Training, where Director of Awesomeness and everything else, Chris Serino, turns keyboard warriors into actual warriors. Or something like that. Pretty dang close, I would say. Yeah, the guy's been there, done that.
Pistol, check. Rifle, check. Yeah, we got it all. Force on force, we do that every now and then too. Bring your bruises, instructor development. Welcome to the Thunderdome of learning. It's more than training, it's range ready because real life doesn't come with a respawn button.
Woo! When the shot matters most, clarity counts. The Zeiss Conquest 4 delivers unmatched precision, crystal clear glass, and rugged dependability. Built for hunters who chase perfection from the first light to the last. From whitetails to western ranges, trust your hunt to Zeiss. The Conquest V4, confidence through clarity. See your hunt differently at zeiss.com/hunting and find all those woo moments.
All right, welcome back, all you Gun Talk hunters. And on the horn with me is the cast iron cowboy, Mr. Kent Rollins. Kent, welcome in, man.
Hey, brother, thank you so much. It is always good to visit with some people that have the same passion in life that I do.
It is a passion because, we were talking earlier about, the connections that we have in Oklahoma, and it's such a small world out there. But really, this time of the year, man, guys are out in the woods and they're filling their freezers and they're wondering what they're going to do with all this meat around the holiday times. So from the best cowboy chef out there, Mr. Kent Rollins, what are you doing with all this wild game?
Well, Thanksgiving's right around the corner, and we used to call a lot of wild turkeys, whether we shot them with a bow or shotgun, either one. But, I always did them differently each time because I like to experiment. But I would always brine a wild turkey more than I would a tame turkey, because I want to get that tenderness back in there. And the brine was usually just a lemon based with peppercorns, cloves, rosemary, garlic, a little thyme, but it needs to soak a good 12 to 24 hours. But I've also just filleted them breasts out of there and made strips out of them, marinate them, and then just throw them right on the grill. So there's so many ways you can do it. I remember on ranches, if we ever had something, turkey or something like that, I'd usually just dig a hole in the ground and put him in a Dutch oven and cook him that way really slow. You could get like a 4 or 5 hour cook on him, so he'd be pretty tender. Yeah. But there's a lot of deer and a lot of elk out there right now too. And, jerky meat has always been popular with hunters, and we've made a lot of jerky, whether we varied from one recipe to the next. But I try to keep it to where it's really good lean meat, because fat meat in jerky will spoil if it gets too much to it. Okay. But I do love to, anytime I'm cooking wild game, especially if it's something that's really lean, and they are in our country this year out here in New Mexico. There's not a lot of fat on them. I like to add a little bacon grease or something to it to get me some fat. If I'm grinding meat, I'll use a lot of pork fat, but I'll also just use straight bacon grease to give me a little more flavor out of there. But, the worst thing you can do with any wild game, deer, elk, something like that, antelope, is overcook it, because it dries out pretty quick if you do. It's meant to be medium rare, rare to medium rare, and, because he done died once. Ain't no sense in killing him twice on the grill.
I love how you put it, and you're absolutely right, because I get buddies out there, and they're like, they're not used to cooking the wild game, or I give someone some meat, and I say, they're like, well, how do you cook it? I'm like, well, it's meat. like it's meat. Like, cook it like you would like beef, but that's the worst fear, is overcooking it.
Yeah, we do a lot of venison steak or elk to where we'll smoke it just a minute and then braise it in a really hot skillet and finish it off with a red wine or something like that. It's really good with bison too, that-a-way. So there's so much you can do to wild game to even step it up to where you think, hey, this might be actually better than anything I've eaten in a long time.
Yeah. Like, that's how 90% of the time it is. They either don't know what they're eating and they think it's fantastic, or they just love it. I mean, it's just simple as that.
And it's, we hunted quail for years and years down there in the southwest corner of Oklahoma, back when blue quail were so thick you couldn't hardly see the sun when they'd get up from the covey rise, But fried quail has always been good, biscuits and gravy to go with that. But we baked a lot of quail too, You know, you take a chicken broth base, a little bit of lemon juice, cover them with bacon, and just bake them good and slow, and then brown them really good right at the end. And it's making me pretty hungry because I ain't got to eat no quail in a couple of years.
I know. Well, they're kind of getting scarce, and we were talking just before we jumped on here about, the population sizes are dwindling, and you'll hear that they're back, and then you're like, well, I'll just let them grow a little bit, and then you don't hunt them, and then all of a sudden they're gone. So you need to take those opportunities while you can, because quail is one of the most fantastic meals you can have.
Oh, it is. It is that. And for anybody that's got any stew meat, whether it comes off deer or elk, whatever they got going, we did a video last winter in the snow about chili Colorado, which is really good with any kind of meat, but it's really good with deer or elk. But the thing that really sets it off, too, is we use a lot of dried chilies when we're cooking something like that. You use an ancho chili, a guajillo chili. You just rehydrate them and then stick a little chili de arbol in there, which is a little old bitty little chili, to add a little heat to it. Oh. But you can serve that over rice or just over a tortilla, and it is some fine dining.
Yeah, the chili Colorado is probably one of my favorite Mexican dishes. Like, I would say that's probably up there. If I see it on the menu, it's definitely getting ordered.
Yeah.
But
but don't forget that crock pot too. If you got a deer roast or an elk roast, let that thing cook slow. All this meat we get, from the good Lord provided out there in the woods, it don't have to be just thrown on a fire. There's so many ways to make it even more tender than it is.
Awesome. That's excellent. So now that our mouths are watering and everything, it's time to talk about a new show that's on Outdoor Channel, Monday nights, 9:30. That's Eastern time, so 8:30 Central time for all you folks out there. But Cast Iron Cowboy, you've kind of, this show kind of levels it up a little bit for you. So talk about the filming process and what you guys went through.
We dreamed of this about 8 years ago. We have a lot of producers that had reached out to us, done a lot of food TV, and they'd say, hey, we got this idea for a show for you. And I said, no, you don't. Y'all are reality, and we want to be real. But we had a guy call about 8 years ago from California, and I hung up on him the first time, and he was really persistent and kept calling back. But they work for Rabbit Foot Productions, which is out of Austin, and he took this ideal. He didn't want to change it. He just wanted to enhance it. Okay. And then we finally got it to the Outdoor Channel. We started filming the first season last year. We finished the second season already. We highlight the American cowboy and the American rancher across the United States and the history and the heritage that they have brought about to the communities that surround them, and plus the nation they provide meat for. Yeah. But we wanted it to be to where let's showcase the history. Cowboy's been out there forever and ever, and the end result is I want to raise the best beef I can. But the way that differs from a ranch in Florida to a ranch in Nevada is totally different, because of climate. And we wanted to sort of highlight that and let people know what's going on. And it's been a great success. We've had a good time doing it. You go to some of them deals and the show like it takes place in one day, but you're sort of there 3 days, sometimes 4. Mother Nature is always in control. We've been blown away. We've been froze to death. We've nearly had a heat stroke. So it has all been good.
Yeah, I mean, it's entertaining and educational, and I think most programming really tries to kind of lean towards we want to be entertaining and we want to be educational, and how do you do that? Well, man, when you start talking American cowboys and the American heritage of and cooking, you add cooking into that, and then see what you're serving on a daily basis. It's must-see TV is what it is.
Well, we appreciate that, my friend. We wanted to really showcase the history there, because we've been in so many remote places in the last 38 years. I have cooking for ranches or hunting camps, and never take that for granted what you get to see. We have the best view out our kitchen window every day of the week. And the people we meet, the ranches, when you can sit down and get to really visit with them folks, whether it's a family-owned operation that's 20,000 acres or it's a ranch that's 750,000 acres, you see a diversity of country and people.
Well, it seems like different practices too, because not all farms operate exactly the same. Not all ranchers operate exactly the same. You've probably seen everything from the small level to the extreme high level ranchers, and every cowboy in between. Like you're seeing the original Yellowstone. Like you've seen everything in between.
Yeah, when we were in Florida cooking on a ranch, and that guy down there told me, he said, we're cattle ranchers, but we're also water farmers. He said, we get so much water, we have to learn how to do with this water and where to put it and stuff like that. And then you get in places in Arizona where they're getting 9 inches of rain a year, and you're thinking, I would love some more water, send it my way to where, it might be 3 cows to the section, maybe even 2 cows to the section on some of this country, so it's totally different. They're putting up tons and tons of hay in northern Nevada and northern Wyoming to try to make it through the winter. So it gets to see it all, and what the cowboys go through to manage the ranch, but also be stewards of the land and take care of it.
How have you, and this is kind of my final, and we've got on this conversation just because it's such an interesting topic as far as like how Kent is like filming and seeing the development of the modern day rancher. How have you seen, what are practices that just outlive time? Like, what are you seeing from a lot of these ranches that remain the same over time? Because, man, stuff doesn't operate. They've got, side by sides, and they're running, mules and stuff like that. What has always been the consistent for the American rancher?
Well, I think it's riding for the brand, number one. The integrity and the hard work that you have and the people that you trust to take care of it, whether you're out there beside them or you're gone, that they're raising beef and they're taking care of the country the way you want it to be, because one bad bite ruins a whole appetite, so you make sure the people that you have employed and the people that are around you have the same goal and the same mission in mind. And that's something that's never changed as far as I know. I'd always hear them old men say, whether we was working cattle for somebody across the river in Texas or we was in the middle of Wyoming, we're riding for the brand. It's their brand, and we're going to take care of it.
I love it. All right, you can catch Cast Iron Cowboy Mondays. They have showings every day of the week, but the new shows happen Monday night, 9:30 Eastern time. Make sure you check them out, Mr. Kent Rollins and the Cast Iron Cowboy. Thanks for joining us, man.
Hey, brother, thank you so much. I hope you get so many quail in the freezer you can't eat them all.
I hope so, too. Well, Gun Talk Hunters, you know the drill. You know the drill, and I say it every week. Keep those muzzles pointed in a safe direction and always be on the hunt.